Hi. So Simon here. We're not. Oh, I am wearing the Captain Australia pants. So we're, I don't know, 12% Captain Australia, mostly just old buffhead Simon. I am sorry that I have not streamed sooner than this. So I was under the pump and walking through a storm to get here to Packenham and into this lovely motel room. So thank you again to the Valley Motel, who have provided as an absolute kindness this bed tonight. But yeah, then I there's this couple, Rod and T, who have driven from across the city, uh, been supporting since day one, and they came to meet me tonight. So sat down. They're kind of quiet people. They didn't want video or photos or anything. They just wanted to talk, and they've been following since day one, and they're just such lovely people, and I've spent the last couple of hours with them, and it's been a delight. And we've, I don't know, covered about every topic that you can cover in a chat, really. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry I've been off the air for a bit, and this is a Captain Australia evening update. Yeah. So tomorrow, there's a another lovely person coming out to walk with me tomorrow. Her name's Roseanne, and she's wanting to walk with me for the next few days, I think. So I'll see how that goes, and you'll meet her in the morning. I am meeting a reporter, I believe her name's Jessie from the Packenham Gazette in the morning. So at 9:30, we're doing an interview, and then I'm headed for Dandenong. Brody says, "Hey mate, how many kms you got left?" Well, tomorrow. So let me get my new specs. I keep losing stuff, including glasses. This is probably pair number three, I think. Let me put these on so I can see comments as they whiz past. So Brody, I reckon I'm 60k or so from Fed Square, and because I'm staging it to arrive on the 19th, yeah, there's no great rush. Tomorrow, Dandenong is 28k. Pum says, "Hey Captain, see you Friday or Saturday. Definitely Saturday. Lovely. The more people who can come in to meet either at Alexandra Garden at around 10 or Fed Square at around 12. Lovely. I'm delighted by that. Thank you so much. In if you can come and finish this incredible journey with me, I couldn't be more delighted. We've got Betty says you're so inspiring. Well, thank you, Betty. That's very kind. I'm way behind on people who have sent me messages. If you've sent me a message, I will look at it and I will answer it. I'll do that tonight. I'm so sorry. So I've just spent a good couple of hours. I'm not even sure what time it is, but a good couple of hours with T and Rod, and they've just been supporting from day one. So it's lovely to just sit down and just have a good long talk and spend some time. Rushing here, I met a bunch of people, wonderful people on the road, and near the end, I was a little bit rushed. So you know who you are, but there's a lady I met near a donut shop. I'm sorry I was so rushed, sweetheart. I wish I could have had a proper chat to you. It was a joy to meet you. You're a lovely person, and please forgive me that I just need because I had these people waiting. I just needed to get a move on. So it was a pleasure to meet you, and I'm sorry I was so rushed. Terry says, "Rest up, champion." Cheers, Terry. Brady, did you plan where to walk before you started? To a point, I tried to map things out a little bit, mate, but um, you see, if you plan it too much, it's not an adventure, and I needed it to be an adventure. I needed it to have chaos, an ordeal. I needed it to have a dimension of struggle. So one of my goals was to completely rebuild myself as a human being, to strip it all back to the basics. So I made a deliberate, purposeful choice to try never to look more than a day in advance. And because of that, when I met people who gave me advice about where to go next, it would naturally change the route that I was on. I met this wonderful woman in Ballina named Jo, and she became like Alfred to my Batman for a while. And I completely obeyed her. So she gave me in my little earpiece all these directions. My map said I had to go a certain way. I didn't want to take the freeway, and she gave me this alternate route. And it didn't coincide with my map at all, but I trusted her, and she's like, turn left here, go ahead by 1.2 kilometers, turn right, turn there. And it ended up taking me down this dirt track, and I'm like, Joe, are you sure? Following that. And then I end up, oh, Joe, there's a fence here. Open the fence, go through. Okay, open the gate, close the gate. And I ended up in a paddock in the middle of nowhere with like swamp on my left, a river in front of me, and just like forest on my right. And it was wonderful. So my path changed all the time. I had originally planned through Victoria to come along the coast, but it hasn't played out that way. I've taken a more direct route. So yeah, I did sort of map it out a bit, but I needed to leave room for adventure, mate. It's a great question. Davina says, Henry the Bunyip misses you. I miss you too, Henry. It was a pleasure to meet you. Um, Bradley says, felt like only yesterday I seen you in Nowra and gave you the Hungry Jack. Oh, it was you, mate. You're a handsome unit, Bradley. Yeah, you're one of these like stunningly handsome people. I was immediately jealous when I met you, my friend. You gave me Hungry Jacks. Yeah, that's right. A hamburger and I think some chips. And you're nearly at Melbourne. So sick. Yeah, cheers, Bradley. Good on you, mate. And thank you for your kindness that day. I think kindness always it lifts us up. It elevates both the giver and the receiver, I reckon. Diddly dee. Pum Parnell, it's me, Steve Parnell. Why have you changed your name, Steve? Tony says hi. Hi, Tony. How you doing? Sorry, just getting up to date on the comments. Got them all. Scroll, 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 scroll. Okay. George says, well done. Thank you. Diddly dee. It's 10 o'clock, Kim tells me. Oh, cheers. It's getting a little bit late. Probably need to sleep soon, but Sean. Hey, brother, only a couple of days left now. You have achieved so much, inspired so many. Be proud of yourself and what you've achieved, mate. Look, I had to do a daily donor dare doom the other day where I had to recognize my goodness or my kindness. And I tried to do it as academically as possible, like the good and bad sides of my life. And one thing I think I can say I've come to, I love myself. I do. I absolutely do. Yeah. Proud of what I've done. Oh, yeah. I always think I could have done better. I am my own worst slave driver, I suppose. But I have. Having navigated through this walk, I've been able to let go of a lot of grief and feelings of unworthiness and all of that sort of stuff. And I've come to a place where I can accept what's going on in the world around me, and I love myself and I feel capable. So I'm stronger in every way that strength matters, and I've been able to achieve that through following this bizarre recipe of hope, which for me is dressing up like a superhero and walking like a mad bastard. But the absolute message of it is that if I can do it, you can. So anybody who needs hope in their life, if you get that little spark from that, you can make profound changes in who you are. And if you don't love yourself, you can navigate to a place where you absolutely do. Yeah. So I don't think of cancer anymore. I'm good. Yeah, all of these things that would plague me in the past no longer do. It's lovely. And I'm pretty confident that I get to take all of the improvements home with me. You improved Simon version 2.0. Bradley says, feels like only yesterday I seen you now. Hang on, didn't I already didn't did you repeat that comment, Bradley? Sorry, sorry if I didn't. Bradley just says also, and you're nearly at Melbourne, so awesome. Yeah, cheers, Bradley. Thank you, man. Sharon, was so lovely to meet you this evening. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to take a pic with my son and I. Stay safe, and you're doing an amazing thing. I will upload all of the pictures taken today, as well as some taken by Davina from Bunyip. I'll do that immediately after this live stream too. So expect a big bunch of photos, as well as some taken by a dude I met on the road. His name was Jay, I'm pretty sure. And he had a professional, proper, great U-Butte camera and took some lovely pictures. So I'll upload those bad boys. A bunch of photos coming. Danielle says, you're such an inspiration. Well done. So proud of you. Thank you, Danielle. That's lovely. And we're getting to the bottom of the comments. It's time to make a donation to your children cancer research project, says Kerry. Okay, yep. Anybody who feels inclined to support the charity, if you look at the sticky post at the very top of the timeline and you click on see more, you'll see a bunch of links to all of the media, the TV appearances along the way. Some of them are good for a giggle, but at the very top, you'll see one that says donations, and the link has like Raisley in it. It goes to the charity page handled by the Kids Cancer Project, and your donation goes directly into pediatric cancer research. Ruby says, your family must be so proud of you. You're a true hero. Well, thank you, Ruby. That's bloody lovely of you to say. Bradley says, I may be handsome, but looks don't count for much. Action is better, and you've aced it, mate. Oh, good on you, Bradley. It's nice to see that somebody who knows they're a good-looking unit, but isn't narcissistic or anything about it. Good on you, mate. Uh, Sean, about time you can admit it, mate. Yeah, well, thank you, Sean. I think you're bloody lovely too. I think we've had a similar journey, my friend, and good on you. Glenda, you're a champion and an inspiration to so many people. Thank you. I'm absolutely stoked and chuffed. Annie says, hi, Simon. Can you please say hi to Judy Smurden? She is your biggest fan, Annie. Okay. Judy, hello, Judy Smurden. Listen, drop me a message on the Caps Big Walk Facebook Messenger. I'll do more than say hi. We'll have a chat. Little bickety back and forth, little texting thing. Ask me questions. But yeah, hi, Judy. Official shout out. Hi to Judy Smurden. Diddly dee dee. Pum says, I don't know, mate. I'm useless with phones. Sorry. Okay, so that's my mate Steve, who's going to be there at Federation Square on Saturday. Good on you, Steve. Lorraine, well done. You're an inspiration. Thank you, Lorraine. Let's get to these comments. Brad asks, how are you enjoying Packenham, mate? Glad you got another room for the night. It is lovely. So Packenham, I mean, it was pretty bad weather when I was coming in, so I haven't had the chance to see much of it. And I've spent the evening hanging out with Rod and T Kaz they've been following from day one. So it was just really lovely to meet these people who have been such relentless supporters through the big walk. So I haven't seen much of Packenham, but yeah, I've had a delightful time while I'm here because of that. Natalie says, rest up, Captain. I will. I'm going to update photos and look at messages, have a little bite to eat, and I'm going to get to sleep well before midnight. Jacinta says, did you ever imagine the big walk would turn out the way it has? Meeting the people you have, the unexpected things. The scouts are really looking forward to meeting you tomorrow. Oh, yeah. So tomorrow, after I have this interview with the Gazette, I need to press for Dandenong, and I need to get there no later than, let's say, 5:30. So at 6:30, I'm meeting this group of scouts and venturers, and there's something about them doing a presentation. It all just sounds intriguing and great. I'm really excited. So one of my favorite people that I've met on the walk is Scout Coralie. She's 12 years old, up near Ulladulla, and such just an impressive, just big-hearted, agile-minded, ethically oriented human being. Good on you, Scout Coralie. So these kids attracted into Scouts and Venturers, I'm delighted to meet them, and adults who are in that sort of um, you know capacity as well. Absolutely delighted. So at Dandenong tomorrow at 6:30, going to meet them. Don't know if I'll be allowed to share that in a stream or something, but if I can, I will, and if I can't, I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll be pushing for Dandenong. I'll have a companion, this lady Roseanne I told you about, so you'll get to meet her. And that's all after my interview with the Gazette in the morning. Cassandra says, howdy, hi, Captain Superhero Buffhead. Why are you calling me a buffhead for? That's a bit hurtful. Sorry I'm late jumping on. I'll have to catch up on your travels today. Keep up the awesome work. Yeah, today it's just been, getting here to Pakenham. I've had it in my mind that I do at some point really soon need to find a likely person out on the street and challenge them to a battle rap. That's going to be cringeworthy and terrible, but I got to do it, and I can't fake it. I can't choose someone who's not going to have a go. So I need to find like some, young hip group of dudes at a bus stop or something, and they're already listening to hip hop. I need to get somebody who can be a worthy opponent. I reckon that's the spirit of the dare. So I can't just find some, old fella like me. I need to get someone who can actually, rap well. Cherie says, how many pairs of shoes have you gone through? Have you always been a good walker? How did you prep for the walk? Okay. A bunch of good questions there. So I'm on the second pair of boots. They're not shoes, they are proper military boots, same worn by the SAS. I'm on the second pair. The first pair was absolutely great. This pair's pretty good too, but it's starting to poop its pants. Have I always been a good walker? I wouldn't say I'm a good walker now, really. I just dig in and I'm stubborn and I have developed some pretty good endurance. Um, how did I prep for the walk? So when I decided I needed to take a big walk, I weighed 140 kilos, so the radiation treatment for my cancer had wrecked my thyroid. It's this gland under here that regulates your metabolism. Piled on massive weight. So I started, when I realized I was going to take a big walk, I started taking little walks every day. First day was 3.7 kilometers and it wrecked me. I was clinically morbidly obese. It was a train wreck. And then the second day, 5. The third day, I did 5 again, thinking, oh, I'm a bloody champion, yeah. But when I did that 5 on the third day, I said to myself, now do it again. And that was like Captain Australia rising up inside me saying, be more, try harder, do better. So I did. I turned, even though I was exhausted and wrecked, I turned around and I did 10. And that became the new normal. So yeah, for the last year leading up to the walk, I had consistently pushed myself, walked every day, got to the point where some days I would do like 15 in the morning and then 10 at night. And I did a lot of practice walks. So I did one practice walk, which I was pretty impressed with. I walked probably more than 100 kilometers. So I went all the way down to the Gold Coast and a little bit of the way back in one overnight walk. So I set out at 7 a.m. and at 6:30 the following day or 6 o'clock I was finished. So 23 hours I walked 100 kilometers. I thought that was pretty good. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee. Vicky says, you are so very humble, Cap. You're truly an amazing man. The love you have for your family also. They would be so very super proud. And I know we all out there are for you. Oh, thanks. This is just, wow. That's lovely. Legend. Absolutely bloody legend. Keep it up. You're nearly there. I will share with you my reunion with my family too. So as soon as I get back to Brisbane, I've got my mate, Jeff. He's a friend and a business partner. We ran a travel insurance company together until COVID murdered it. He's going to meet me on the day I get back. I'm going to give him the phone, live stream up, and he's just going to be cameraman for me so that I can just be free to feel what I feel and have that moment, that beautiful reunion. But you get to watch it. Yeah. So Jeff will be following me around and filming it too. Yeah. So that'll be lovely. Hopefully with a theme track of like My Happiness from Powderfinger. That would be my song of choice for the reunion, I think. Sophia. Hey, Sophia. We worked together many years ago, Sophia. It's been so awesome following your journey. Hope you are considering a podcast or something similar. I'm figuring out what next when next comes. So I need to get home, love my family, and I could just get a job, a mundane job somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I will do weekly updates or daily updates or something for a while because I mean people are saying we want to keep knowing what's going on, Simon. So I have more work to do. So you could say that the bigger big walk, which is about getting better. I still have a bit more walking to do even after Fed Square. But yeah, I'll figure all of that. I just need to get home and hug my children first and foremost, and my lovely wife. Diddly dee, Vicky Bradley, spot on, mate. Okay, we're getting hopefully up to date. Kerry says, hi, Captain. I only became aware of your adventure as you approached the area I live, Bateman's Bay, and have followed you ever since. You're a true champion, and I so hope that when your adventure comes to a close, you will know that you've changed many people's lives. I adore that. I do. Oh, that's such a lovely comment. My wish for you is that not only do you do the Children's Cancer Research Foundation proud, and it's called the Kids Cancer Project. So check the T-shirt. That's it. The Kids Cancer Project. So it's all about pediatric cancer research, yeah. But we'll also be proud of your own personal achievements. And I hope this walk has healed you. Inspirational. Take care. I can say very firmly that it has. Yeah. Hand on heart. I'm pretty confident it's not like a false assessment, like where you're overly optimistic. I think it's clear and clear-sighted that I am just plain bloody better. It's wonderful. Karen says, hey, Captain, so close now. How good is it going to be in your own bed and to be with your family soon? Yeah, it is making me a little bit mental, honestly, knowing that they're just days away. Brad says, my hometown is Dandenong, but I'm living in Merimbula. I liked Merimbula very much. Dandenong, I'll tell you about it tomorrow. People, keep saying Dandenong's, it's like rough, but every time I'm in a community, the people in other communities tell me how rough it is, and yet I get in and it's bloody gorgeous. So I don't know. Dandenong, I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. Ashley says, saw you walking between Druin and Longwarry. Wasn't aware, but now I know. So amazing what you're doing. Oh, cheers. So Druin and Longwarry, I think I was probably wearing the Desert Warrior Captain Australia uniform. I understand why people would be puzzled if they didn't know what was going on. Joanne says, almost there, Simon. So good. Oh, cheers. Diddly dee dee diddly dee. Scrolling down the comments today. How do we donate? Asks Amy. Yeah, so if you look at the sticky post at the very top of the timeline on Cap's Big Walk on Facebook, and you click See More, there's a bunch of links in there, including links to all of the past news stories. And the very top link says Donate, and it's got a link to a donation page that's hosted by the Kids Cancer Project. So your donation could flow straight into pediatric cancer research. Shannon says, hope you got your heel balm. Yeah, I do. Thanks very much. My feet are all good. For me, I'm actually just more concerned about structural damage to my feet, like collapsed arches or something. So I do have some consistent daily pain now, and that's been happening for a bit more than a week. So, but it's all right. I'll just power through, get the Fed square, and then get it all assessed. Brooke says, that will be a teary moment. Yeah, not for me, for sure, buddy. I reckon I'll be sobbing like yeah. I don't know. All I know is in my heart, I will feel. When I first saw a picture of my eldest son, Spencer, just a picture of him in utero, he was not born yet. It was the promise of what he was going to be. When I saw that picture, I was smitten. And I don't mean that in any sort of like overly romanticized way. I was smitten. It was like being hit, like being physically struck with love. And that version of me was nowhere near who I am now in terms of having a sense of self, personal strength. But that guy, he knew suddenly what love was. Absolutely. And I would walk through fire for that unborn child. And the thing is, the love that you have, an adult love, is like transactional. I will love you as long as you don't change the TV channel, poop in the bed, or, cheat on me. So you'll have criteria for the love. My love for that boy and his brothers that came subsequently, the only criteria is that I need to be breathing. I will love you for the rest of my life as fiercely as I can. And I think I lost my way in delivering that love in my fight with cancer, and that was one of my biggest griefs, that I was underperforming as a dad, and one of my biggest motivations for taking this big walk. Yeah. But, the love that I have for those children taught me something. And I was then able to reapply that into my other loving relationships, like my beautiful, wonderful wife. So yes, when I see them again, it will be, I have no words. Yeah. Okay, so Sean says, Amy Roberts, go to his Facebook page and the link is pinned to the top. Yep. Brad, have you heard anything back from Einstein? Or I actually did. He sends me these emails and texts every so often. So he's asked if he can contact like the manufacturers of my boots, a company called Garmon, and see if they would, do a corporate donation, or if they would do a deal even separate after the big walk, but like a deal where Captain Australia can advertise the boots. And I'll make money to get in front of my mortgage, so after the big walk, an advertising deal or something. And I've said, all right, mate, and we'll figure out a cut for you and you can go out. So he's kind of emailing people on my behalf to see if there's any. It's almost like having a talent agent, except It's Einstein. He's a lovely man, and he just makes me laugh. I hope he'll be a friend for the rest of my life. I don't know if that will yield any financial result, and you'll see Captain Australia advertising a solar blanket from the boating, camping, fishing store or something. But yeah, that's what Einstein's doing. I think he might be coming down to Fed Square, so you may see Einstein again. I would like to talk him into doing a little stream just because he's been such a character from the walk and he's making such improvement. He was inspired to just swim every day, walk every day, and he was just making great strides in his own life. And I feel like he was like a disciple of the big walk. Love it. So I'd like to see like a bop bop a diddly bop bop a diddly bop bop a diddly dee Einstein episode. Boom boom. You know. Anyway, so thanks for asking. Yeah, Einstein. I think his and I almost said it because it's the how he talks about his cat like the Mrs. Slocum from that old Are You Being Served show. So when he says, "Ellen, my pussy is so much better now," that's how he talks about it. But yeah, his cat is completely healed. It had a fight with a possum and it got infected, have to have antibiotics, but his cat is completely good now. Yeah. Kerry says, "I'm so excited and happy for you and your family. They must be just as amazing as you." Oh, cheers. Yeah. Well, I think they're more amazing than Cassandra says, "Oh, that day you have that gorgeous reunion with your loved ones is going to be absolutely amazing. I'll definitely have the tissues on hand. Keep powering on, Captain. True bloody legend. I will do my best to make sure that the full impact of the moment is shared with you. Yeah, you've been watching. I think it's a lovely ending to the walk. Yeah, so I'll make sure to try and do my best to share it." Jacinta says Dandenong is dangerous for you to sleep rough. Yeah, you're not the first person to say it, but I'm not about fears. I'm about hope, and someone might come and try and rob me or whatever, but if they do, I'll make them pay for it, like, at least a little. Anyway, I like to think that people can be talked to. Neil, lovely to see your name, Neil. That's awesome. So I met Neil at Wollongong. Great guy. Lovely guy. Nearly there. Super effort. The evolution of you as a person has been mind-boggling. Just got home from my Mount Kosciuszko Alpine race. Jeez, mate. 43K tick over 7 hours. Jeez, mate. Wacky word of the day is pain cave. And that will give the charity another $20. Pain cave? That actually sounds weirdly sexy to me. Pain cave. I don't know why. Just weird. All right. James says you're so inspiring. Jamie, sorry. Thank you, Jamie. That's lovely. Almost up to date with comments. I think Gail from Newcastle. Hi, Gail. Hi, Captain. Changing lives daily. It's been great watching the change in you and the people you're inspiring to make better decisions for themselves. Thank you, Valley Motel Packenham, for hosting Captain Australia tonight. Bob, bob. Needing a good podiatrist when you're back home. Yeah, I'll figure all that out. Oh, by the way, my hand, those wounds on my hand, completely healed, all back on track. Diddly diddly dee. Scrolling, scrolling. Amanda Walters, can I pay for your accommodation in Dandenong, please? I really, I really prefer that people don't buy accommodation for me. I don't know why, and it's weird, and I get it. But if a motel or even a family says there's a safe bed for you here, that's accepting hospitality, and it's lovely. But when someone just like slaps out a credit card and buys a room, I mean, it's kind of materially the same thing, but it doesn't feel the same, I guess. I don't know. Maybe a motel, and plus there's just the roll of the dice of it. If a motel doesn't, or a family doesn't offer up a bed, no worries. I can sleep. I slept rough at Tweed Heads. Tweed Heads is like a weird community now. There was a lot of, I think, suffering there. A lot of businesses shut down. There is a meth epidemic down the East Coast. I've seen a lot of that stuff. And the people who manufacture it, if you're like, I don't know if they're bikies or whoever is manufacturing it, but you need a kick in the throat, mate. Stop. You're evil. Stop. Not the users. The users, they're just trying to medicate their pain, I guess. But the people who manufacture it, stop. You know? But no, I've slept rough in places that you would say are not safe to sleep rough, and there were sketchy people around and all the rest. I managed. It's all right. Diddly D. Gale, how is Einstein's pussy, Captain? Can I just plead the fifth on that? Because whatever answer I give, it's like, oh, can I tell you a funny story? So there's this lady, she's in a mental health unit. Where was it? I think, was it Morwell or near Morwell? Or maybe Warragul or Traralgon. Sorry, I can't remember. Traralgon, I think it was. Anyway, so we'd been corresponding. We actually met at Orbost, and she's wonderful. I won't say her name because her story is private. But there's this wonderful person I met, and I've been corresponding with. Sweet, kind, just lovely. And she wrote just asking how it's going. Um, and in my answer, I typed because I was walking and I was in a hurry to get where I was going. You know, yeah, look, lovely to hear from you. Type, type, type. Wish you all the best. Type, type, type. I'm really sorry for my brief reply. I'm busy wanking right now. I meant walking. I meant to type walking, and I didn't realize what I'd typed. And then so at the end of the day, I'm checking messages again, catching up on all my messages. So she actually thought it was hysterical. It was funny. It was absolutely funny. So it went well. But your question about Einstein's pussy made me remember that. Yeah. So I was busy wanking all day long. I'm so tired from my excessive wanking. Was I mean, how wrong can you get with a typo? That's the worst I can imagine. I mean, I'm sure there's worse, but that was pretty bad. Yeah. I clarified that I meant walking, and it should have been an L instead of an N, and my phone is a bit dodgy. Anyway, Gail, absolutely a disciple. Yes, Einstein is a disciple of the Big Walk. Jacinta, I'm happy to contribute. Amanda. Okay, diddly dee dee dee. No, if that's for buying a room in Dandenong, please don't. But it's fine if you rang and said Captain Australia is coming to Dandenong, will you give him a free room or something? That's great. That's lovely. But don't slap down your hard-earned cash. If it doesn't materialise, I'll sleep in the bush. It's fine, all good. Don't worry about me. As Mary says, very inspiring. Best wishes for you. Cheers. I hope I said your name right. Amanda says, I met you on the side of the road in Packenham this evening. Oh, with Damo. Yeah, oh, you were lovely, you guys. Did you offer to come and bloody do my laundry? Was that you? That might have been someone else. But thank you so much. Yeah, and you were lovely. We would love to pay for one night. It's going to be wet and cold, and you can have a warm shower and a rest. I'm good with the wet and the cold. I prefer people not to slap down their hard-earned cash. If you want to slap down your hard-earned cash, put it into the pediatric cancer research. If a venue, if a place, if like I slept in the community hall in Bunyip the other night, it was great, absolutely great. But if that weren't possible, I can camp in a bit of scrub, no worries. Dandenong might not have scrub, but you might be surprised at just what canny old Captain Australia can get away with. Anyway, I have a strong preference to please not slap down cash and consider the logistics. If you do it, there might be three other people doing it. So suddenly three people have paid for motel rooms in Dandenong. There's only one me. So please do not make a booking for my accommodation. Okay. Thank you so much. And it is delightful, wonderful, kind. I love it. I'm grateful and thankful, but please don't. It's okay. If you want to ring ahead and ring a motel and say, this lovely man, he needs a warm bed, that's fantastic. And if they say, yes, that's wonderful, and I'll gratefully take it, but don't slap down your hard-earned cash. Diddly dee dee diddly dee. Tony says, hi Simon, you're looking very rested, and wow, not far to go now. Well done. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. Sean, that's funny as Captain Australia is on a big wank. Yeah, I guess, mate, if you actually did it at the brand level, Captain Australia's big wank. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Bloody hilarious, says Cassandra. Yep, it is pretty funny. Ducking autocorrect. Yep, Hannah says. Dandenong would be fun to camp out at night. You'll be fine. Yeah, see? Exactly. Oh, and we're at the end of comments, I think. Good. Melanie says, you should pop into BK2 Basics in Narre Warren. Do you say Narre Warren? Is that how you say it? Just off the highway. Kelly runs a food bank and is an amazing person. She would be chuffed to know what you are doing, and it would be worth a small detour. Okay, I do need to, because there's the Scouts and Venturers that I'll be meeting um, tomorrow night at Dandenong. I need to make sure I get to Dandenong before a certain time. So if there is a sidetrack, I'm willing, but I need to do the math on how much extra time it'll take. And I do have a companion, and she's a little bit older, so I need to factor that in, our pace and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, you'll meet her tomorrow. Her name is Roseanne. I have an interview with the Gazette in the morning. And then tomorrow night, very excited, there's a group of scouts and venturers in Dandenong where there's some sort of an event, some presentation they're going to do. I'm very intrigued and excited. So Joanne says, well, you would definitely get more followers on my big wank. I actually don't know that that's completely true. Me dressing up as a buffet superhero and walking across the country, hoping to earn your regard and get you to see the charity that I'm trying to help. That I think might attract some interest. Me turning the lights off and engaging in a little bit of self-love. Nobody wants to see that. No, not even Mrs. Captain Australia wants to see that. All right. I think that's enough about the wank joke. I probably shouldn't have shared it, but I thought it was pretty funny, and I know she found it to be hilarious as well. But I'll leave that one there, eh? So thank you so much for your interest. Yes, I am the buffhead walking from Brisbane to Melbourne. My eyes are starting to get a bit heavy there, so I am starting to get a little bit tired. I will go through and every single message I will look at and answer now. If you're in Dandenong or Mount Waverley or any of these areas between here and Melbourne and you wanted to meet, grab a cup of coffee or say good day, drop me a message and I'll make it work. So I hit Federation Square on the 19th. I will be at Alexandra Gardens across the river from 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to head across and hit Fed Square at high noon. So that will be the conclusion of the big walk. And if you wanted to be there for that, if you wanted to come and show some support, I would be incredibly grateful. If you wore a flag or something around your neck or a little mask or underpants on the outside, I would be triply grateful. But you don't have to do any of that stuff. Brad says, you're a funny bloke. Have a good night, mate. Cheers, Brad. Buffhead wanking from Brisbane to Melbourne. Yeah, thank you, Sean. That's enough of that. Steve, good night, buddy. And Sean, have a good night, mate. Good night, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. All the very best. I'm humbled by your interest. I appreciate your kindness. And please, nobody book me a room at Dandenong. All good. Everything is as it should be. Thank you. All the very best. Asmarie says good night. Good night to you. Sleep well, Sean, as well. Cheers. Bye.